organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on Daily Iowan TV, the University of Iowa Cinema Department is in the spotlight. We'll explain later.
And you may have seen students walking around campus with buckets on their heads, the meaning behind the movement.
And in sports, we'll preview this weekend's big event, the 2012 Olympic Wrestling Trials.
That's coming up right here next on Daily Iowan TV.
I'm Tom Brokaw. For more than 100 years now, the University of Iowa community has been waking up to the Daily Iowan. Today, it's the largest newsroom in eastern Iowa. And now you can see the news every night on Daily Iowan TV and get it anytime worldwide at dailyiowan.com.
Good evening and welcome into your Thursday edition of Daily Iowan TV. I'm Lauren Moss.
And I'm JAKEABRAMS. Governor Branstad signed into law Thursday a package of tax incentives for baseball. The bill would spur development of a $38 million youth baseball center right where the film Field of Dreams was filmed. The plan for the facility would include 24 baseball and softball diamonds, an indoor training facility, and lodging for teams that would travel to and from the complex from across the country. The facility is predicted to draw crowds of 60,000 visitors a year and create hundreds of jobs.
A University of Iowa professor beat out thousands of other applicants for a Guggenheim Fellowship late last week. Daily Iowan TV's Josh Bolander explains the connection between one man's achievement and his relationship to an entire university's department.
Every day, the University of Iowa is home to thousands of students looking to make their footprint in the world. Whether it's undergrads looking to make their marks, business majors crunching the numbers to better the country's current economic issues, or just journalists trying to find a good story, each college within the university has students doing their best to play their parts. And while today's showers may have put a damper on students' spirits, the current and future state of the school's cinema department may have never looked brighter. That's because one of the department's premier professors was awarded the Guggenheim Fellowship late last week. Why is this significant? Of the nearly 3,000 applicants hoping to obtain the fellowships for research and artistic creation, only 181 are selected, making UI professor Stephen Unger's accomplishment all the more special. It's with professors like Unger that the cinema department continues to flourish, and with social media sites like Facebook and students hoping to extend some of the department's programs, it seems like only good things are in the future. Josh Bolander, Daily Iowan TV.
Former Iowa Governor Chet Culver's signature program for renewable energy research is off to a slower start than expected. The $100 million program called the Iowa Power Fund was designed to invest in wind energy, ethanol, and other renewable forms of energy to reduce pollution in the state, as well as add jobs and break Iowa's dependence on foreign oil. But Iowa lawmakers have diverted nearly 30% of the funds to other areas of the budget. The program was created only 5 years ago.
Now think about how many water fountains you pass every day. Now imagine having to walk 6 hours a day for a simple sip of water. It's strange to think about, but it's a real-life issue for many people in the developing world. Daily Iowan TV's Rana Mustafa gives us a glimpse at what UI students are doing to educate the university about these struggles.
Each year in the developing world, millions of women and children walk 3 miles per day to get unsafe water, totaling 6 to 8 hours away from school.
I think it's very hard to imagine what it would be like to actually have to walk sometimes as much as 6 hours a day to get water. We're just so used to turning on the faucet and it comes out.
In order to show University of Iowa students what it's like to work for water, the University of Iowa Global Health Club hosted an event Wednesday called Be Hope to Her. The event set out demonstrations for students to put themselves in women's and children's shoes who have to walk hours a day to get water for their family. And since 90% of the 30,000 deaths per week are from unsafe water that these women and children are carrying, President of Global Health Club, Claire Roberts, thought it would be a good experience for University of Iowa students to experience carrying buckets on their heads firsthand.
It's just to kind of get an idea of what it feels like and what, walking, a few yards would be compared to hours and hours of doing this every day.
Rana Mustafa, Daily Iowan TV.
The Global Health Club will continue raising awareness by hosting a charity benefit next Thursday, which will aid underprivileged countries in having access to cleaner water.
All right, so much to come on Daily Iowan TV.
And find out what safety tips preschoolers learned at this year's UI's Children's Safety Fair.
And Iowa baseball sought a midweek win before its series with Penn State this weekend.
But first, let's check in with Daily Iowan TV's Taysha Woods, who is right outside in this wet weather. Taysha?
Well, guys, we've seen a lot of rain boots and umbrellas out today with scattered thunderstorms and rain throughout the day. But for those of you who are walking to class, don't worry because the rain is supposed to stop later into the evening. And I'll be back soon to get a look at your 6-day forecast. Back to you.
Firefighters, Herky the mascot, and UI Burn Unit puppets were all present at this year's UI Children's Safety Fair. And Daily Iowan TV's health reporter Muriel Kone was there to join all the excitement.
Children arrived from various daycares from around Iowa City, eager to see all the mini activity booths aimed at a particular safety tip. And even though the youngest attendee couldn't be much than a year old, there's still a greater emphasis on teaching them while they're still young.
Find that if we are able to engage with kids at a younger age and teach them how to be safe, that engagement will carry through as they go through their adolescent years and into their adult years.
And outside of engaging them while they're young, getting the message across that unintentional injuries resulting from bike crashes and burns are a leading cause of death and disabilities to kids.
People don't understand that sometimes. They think that other medical diseases and such are the leading cause of death and disability, but that's not the fact. It's these unintentional injuries that are. So it's a very important focus to our children's hospital to get out into the community and make families aware of this.
So putting on this fair allowed them to teach children about the importance of electrical safety, animal safety, seatbelt safety, and poison prevention. So for example, making sure the kids understood that what appears like a candy isn't necessarily what it is and should therefore not eat it. And Iowa City Police Officer Jorey Bailey gave a little lesson about the different kinds of strangers kids can encounter every day.
It's important for children to know that stranger is really anybody that you don't know, somebody whose name you don't know, your parents don't know, that you might not know their address. Anybody that you just meet can be a stranger. What's important about that is that there's good strangers and there's bad strangers. For instance, I today, as a police officer, am a stranger, but I would be an example of a good stranger, someone that a child could trust and maybe approach if they needed help.
And another example of a good stranger is the Iowa City Fire Department, who were here to show the kids some basic fire safety, and boy were they excited. And another exciting station today was the hand wash station that showed them how to properly rid their hands of germs, and the volunteers weren't the only ones who enjoyed this experience. So whether you're a kid or an adult, a little safety doesn't hurt. Muriel Kone, Daily Iowan TV.
Now for a look beyond Iowa, 7 men are appearing in a South African court Thursday charged in the connection with the gang rape of a 17-year-old girl who's thought to be mentally ill. The shocking attack was filmed on a mobile phone and went viral after it was passed around by school children in Soweto, a township south of Johannesburg. Police say they've identified the men in the video and they're between the ages of 14 and 20.
And Osama bin Laden's 3 widows and 2 of his daughters are set to be deported from Pakistan. The women have been in Pakistani custody since U.S. forces killed the al-Qaeda leader last May. They've been serving a 45-day sentence for living in the country illegally.
India launched the maiden test flight Thursday of its longest-range nuclear-capable missile. The missile, called Agni, which means fire in Hindi, is the most advanced missile so far, according to officials. It can travel the equivalent of 3,100 miles. India launch experts say it's a defensive tool that will be used as a deterrent against Pakistan and China.
And now we'll throw it back to Daily Iowan TV's Taysha Woods for a look at your weekend weather. Taysha?
Yeah, and like I said before, it's been pretty wet out there today. However, it's expected to stop very soon. Tomorrow morning will be cool with a high of 46 and a 20% chance of rain. Into the afternoon, highs will reach 53 degrees with cloudy skies and settle into a high of only 45 degrees. Skies will be partly cloudy. And temperatures are going to be steadily moving up throughout the next 6 days. As you can see here, this weekend highs will be in the mid to upper 50s with a 20% chance of rain on Friday. Then sunny for the rest of the week with highs in the mid-60s Sunday and Monday, and jumping up to 70 and 77 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So guys, we've definitely been seeing a lot of rain recently, but we'll see plenty of warm, sunny days soon. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Taysha. And now Daily Iowans TV Ian Martin is here for Hawkeye Sports. Ian?
The Iowa baseball team competed last night against the Bradley Braves at Duane Banks Field. With the power of Bradley's hitters, though, the game didn't go quite how the Hawks had planned. Daily Iowan TV Sports' Kate Constable was there.
The Hawks got out to a slow start last night as the Bradley University Braves reeled in 2 runs in the first inning. Then, at the top of the third, the Braves hit a 3-run homer to bring the score 5-2. But hungry for runs, the Hawks didn't stop. With 2 outs, a double by both Sean Flanagan and Mike McQuillan, along with a single by Jake Jasnich, brought home 2 runs.
It's the 7th inning stretch and the Hawks are still down by 3, but there's plenty of time for them to rally back. They've been getting good looks at the plate and have had plenty of opportunity with guys on base, but they just haven't been able to convert.
Then at the top of the 8th, the Braves reeled in 2 more runs, and the Hawks had a good look at a comeback in the bottom of the 9th, but the deficit just seemed to be too much to overcome as the Hawks lost 7-3.
You know, we were flat, and we took a punch in the face the first inning and didn't respond, and then they tacked on again and we didn't respond. But
the loss was frustrating for coach Jack Dahm and players because regardless of the score, they know that their team is never out of any game. But last night, their focus and approach to Bradley's defense just wasn't there.
We're going to be down more games this year. You know, we're going to be down in games, and we need to respond better than we did tonight. And we have it in us. We saw that when we played Western Illinois. We have it in us to come back and compete, and that's just something we need to continue to do.
You know, and then when we got guys in scoring position, you got to continue to stay with that approach. And then all of a sudden we got away from it where we swung some balls down, hit some ground balls, force outs, instead of making them get the ball up to us. So that's the consistency in the approach, and that's the focus that we need to have that every pitch, not just sometimes.
Kate Constable, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And the Hawks will be at it again tomorrow as they start their 3-game series against Penn State at home. And an Iowa basketball player received an honor today, and he's not even on campus yet. The 7-foot 1-inch recruit Adam Woodbury is just one player that received an invite to the 18-year-old and under USA basketball camp. At this camp, half of the 24 invited will make the roster to play for the national U18 team at the World Championships in late June. The camp will be held from June 5th to June 12th in Colorado Springs, Colorado. And Carver-Hawkeye Arena will be the host as the U.S. Olympic wrestling trials are coming to Iowa City this weekend. And the city is preparing for wrestlers and fans across the country to invade Iowa City. But with so many wrestlers, it might be hard for some Iowa natives to find someone to cheer for. That's why Daily Iowan TV Sports' Nick Robertson tells you some athletes you can expect to see succeed this weekend.
As Carver-Hawkeye Arena is transformed to hold the Olympic trials, wrestlers from all over the nation begin to arrive. With all of that change coming, Iowans might be looking for some familiar faces on the mats. The state of Iowa has 24 participants, with 9 currently or formerly from the University of Iowa. Some of those familiar faces include Iowa junior and returning Big Ten and national champion Matt McDonough, and current Iowa coaches Terry Brands and Mike Zadick. The other former Hawkeyes include Phil Ketty, Brent Metcalf, Steve Mocco, and Ryan Morningstar. Former Iowa State wrestler, gold medalist, and current Penn State head coach Cale Sanderson has decided to compete as well. Whether these wrestlers were rivals or teammates, when they come to Carver-Hawkeye Arena this weekend, they will have one common goal: the Olympics. I'm Nick Robertson, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
And the trials begin on Saturday morning at 9 a.m. and conclude on Sunday at 9 p.m. Daily Iowan TV Sports will have updates all weekend at dailyiowan.com. That's all for sports. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Ian. And before we leave you tonight, take a look at this. This African penguin doesn't have the happy feet, but her feet do make some people happy. With a little help from a handler at her Idaho Zoo, Makina creates original paintings. That's her name, and the art will be sold to raise money for the zoo and alongside works by other resident animals. The program's called Art by Animals, and it goes on display today at the Willow Tree Gallery in Idaho Falls. So even animals could paint better than I can.
I love that. That's awesome. And only with Daily Iowan TV can you get a sneak peek at Friday's pages of the Daily Iowan.
Yeah, read about a growing trend among Iowa City college students of doing away with cars.
And learn how the Iowa Valley Habitat for Humanity plans to create a new energy monitor system for individual houses.
Well, that's your latest edition of Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to check us out at the same time on Sunday or anytime online at dailyiowan.com.
Thanks for watching and have a great night.